Hello, my sewing friends. This is Friday Sews.
Woohoo!
I'm Jen, and this is the sewing room where we do Friday Sews every Friday, and all the information's in the description box. Don't forget to subscribe when you're down there, and let's get into the sewing. I got a fair amount of sewing done this week, but it was very convoluted. And as usual, I took something that I wanted it to be very easy, and it could have been, but I made it very difficult. I am thankful that one day I got very irritated about something. I was hopping mad. I don't even remember what it was about, but I was in the car and I had to go do something. And so I did the thing, and then I was raging, and I thought, I'm going shopping, which is better than going to get ice cream because at least it didn't put pounds on me. In fact, I got a little lighter because my wallet was certainly lighter. Okay, well, here is the story. And also, here are 3 easy fixes if you get into a situation like I did. I was working on Vogue 9122. Now, this is the thing. I had finished a difficult project and I wanted something simple, something easy, just a little shift dress to throw on. This pattern has 3 pieces. 3. So I got started on it. I was going to use a rayon that I had, very sheer rayon. Now this should have been a first clue for me. And I was going to line it with something else. And actually, had I used that lining, it would have been kind of cool actually, because you would have been able to see the flowers that were on the print through the rayon. Okay, but I realized that the rayon I was using was actually lining. No wonder it was so sheer. Duh. I was mad at myself for that too. And so I took myself over to Joann's and I thought, okay, I need something with some body to it. So I went looking through their linen section and I found this. Now this is linen. It's with their linen section, but it's more viscose than it is linen. So I knew that. And when I washed it, it was a little more drapey than I had intended for it to be. But see, here's the thing. I had this rayon and the thing is almost put together. I mean, I've got the shoulder seams done. I've got this part done, which you can hardly see with this dark fabric. But I thought, okay, well, it's almost done. I'll use it for the lining. Yes. But it was really fortuitous that that lining was almost into a dress. Now, I could have left it at that. It would have been fine. But I want to tell you about 3 problems that I ran into despite the fact that I basted it all together and looked at how it was going to look. And I thought, no, it would be fine. So here is what happened. This dress is almost done, but there are a few problems with it. And I wanted to talk to you about that because you may run into this situation too. I have been trying this on as I go along just to make sure it'll fit. But there are a couple of things that happen that you don't foresee until you get to this point, and then you're like, great, now what do I do? It can be frustrating. So let me tell you about this dress, what I have to fix and how I'm gonna do it. First of all, it's not too tight, but it's pretty close. And the reason for that is because it has a lining, and that lining adds bulk. And that means it adds to you, and if it's small or close to begin with, it may end up being too small. And the problem is for me, I've got a bit of a tummy, and that's not even all of it. I'm holding my stomach in when I do that. But when I'm relaxing, that tummy is gonna show. And so I want this to be a little loose, a little bit more loose. Not much, just a little bit more loose. So what I'm gonna do is go in. I took a 5/8 inch seam allowance, which you're supposed to do. That's what the pattern says. But I'm gonna go back in and probably take it down to a 3/8. And that might be a little too loose, but with the lining in there, it's going to make a big difference. So Yeah, I think I'm going to do that, even though I have a center front and a center back seam. Now on the center back seam, it calls for a zipper all the way up. Well, I didn't put the zipper in. I just kind of went down here and left it open enough to get my head in and just do it that way. You know what? It's tight back there. Now I'm going to try at first to do the 3/8 inch seam allowance on the sides of both the lining and the actual dress. And if that doesn't help, then I may go back in and put the zipper in. I think that would be a pretty quick process. Easy fix, but yeah, you can't always do without the zipper. Now the other and last thing I want to tell you about is this. You see how high this comes up? These are my collarbones. And I even tried this on and marked where I wanted it to come, but then also basted it all together. Not kidding, basted it all together and thought, no, I think that's gonna be okay. Well, it's choking me. But here's the problem. I can't just turn it inside out because the armholes are stitched to the lining and they're understitched and they're all attached, and there is no way to turn it without running into the armholes. Now that's going to be a big problem, and I would have to wrestle fabric and fiddle around and probably make all kinds of mistakes. That's not going to work. I only need this to come down about 5/8 of an inch. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to cut it at 5/8 of an inch, and I have just enough of the lining fabric left to be able to cut some bias strips, and that way then I can go around and just do a bias binding right over the lining and the dress. But that's going to bring this down enough to where it's not choking me. But I'm not going to lose the look of the dress, which is something I don't want to lose. I like that it comes up as high as it does, and I like that these come in a little bit. So those are, what, 3 things that if you run into this kind of a thing with a dress or a top or whatever it is, it's my ice machine, then you can fix it, and you can fix it fairly easily. You can see that I fixed these problems. I went in and I took a smaller seam allowance. At this point, I'm not sure what it was because I narrowed it down to a really thin, like, I thought it was about 3/8. And then I went and I showed it off for my husband. I said, what do you think? And then he goes, and I said, you think you love it? Oh my gosh, honey, it is beautiful. I love it on you. It's just, it fits you so nicely. You look like $1,000,000. He goes, okay. He started laughing because I had just handed him the opinion. Well, he said, it's kind of loose on you. I don't know, it just doesn't have enough, it doesn't grab you enough through here. And I thought, well, I thought it grabbed me too much. Well, so I went in this morning. Here's my ice machine again. I'll tell you what, that thing is so loud. So last night I went in and I took a bigger seam allowance, and it was too tight again. And I thought, I cannot win with this dress. So I ended up going in this morning and I went between the two because I hadn't, well, because I'd taken it in, I didn't have to take any stitching out. So I went in and I went between the two, and I think I found the perfect fit. So you can let me know what you think. I was able to hem it and hem the lining. Hemming a lining is so easy. I just ran it through the serger because why not? I mean, you're not going to see it. I did not put the zipper in. I did not need to because I can get it over my head just fine. But what I did was, because I didn't really want a button or a button loop, those things, they never stay in for me. I can never, you know, I don't know. And with a button, it always catches on my hair. So I thought, no, I don't want to do that. And then I decided, no, I would just make a little tab, and then I'd put a snap on it, and that way it would come together in the back, but you wouldn't see it. So I liked this idea. And then I thought, well, I'll cover it with the button. Then I remembered, oh no, it always catches in my hair, so let's not do that. So I ended up with a little tab and 2 little snaps. I put one on and it didn't pull it enough, so I put another one on. And this was hand stitching that I did after I decided I would hand stitch this bias binding down. I didn't have to do that. I hate hand stitching, but I don't know, I just didn't want top stitching right there, which is kind of silly because it's got top stitching all the way down the front. I don't know. I was in a mood, I guess. But I solved all of the problems. It does have pockets. I added side seam pockets. So what started out to be just a little shift dress that I could put on a pair of tennis shoes and go run errands in, or, you know, just throw on. Now I have a church dress or a dressy dress that I can wear, and I think is so slimming because it's all one color and it just looks fantastic. And problems easily solved, and I ended up with a beautiful dress. So you can't ask for more than that, even with the problems that I did seem to have. So that is the story of Vogue 9122. Now, if you want to make this, if you have this pattern, here is my advice to you. Get some denim, don't line it, top stitch it, be done with it. You don't even have to put in the zipper. Just put yourself a keyhole neckline in. Done. Done. If I were going to go back, that is exactly what I would do. While I was at Joann's getting this linen, I saw some more linen, and I couldn't decide between 2. One is a more hop sack kind of linen that Joann's carries, and the other is just a basic white. Well, here's the thing. I decided on the white, but it was because of the way it felt in the fabric store. Now, I took it home and washed it, and it felt different, and I kind of wish that I'd gone with the other one, but this is a beautiful white linen, and it's gorgeous. I got 4 yards of it. It's got a little bit of drape to it, but not too much. It's got body also. So this is, I don't remember. I think this might have a little bit of viscose in it, but pretty much mainly it is just linen. And I did it because I want to make Butterick 6901. Gorgeous. Gorgeous, right? Perfect for me to wear to church. Perfect for me to wear as we go on into winter. It doesn't get very cold here, so this is really very appropriate for winter here in Florida because it's a sleeveless vest, and I do love me a nice vest. So I think this is going to be gorgeous. Now I want to explain to you why I want this, and it's because I have been paying attention and watching these videos that pop up that are suggested to me, and they are all about trends here in fall as it's coming up in 2024. And I'm looking at what's popular and what is trending. One key thing that I heard and that I took away from something somebody said, I'm not sure who, but the idea was you've loved something all your life. Something has been consistent in your wardrobe all your life. So you need to figure out what that is. And go on a Pinterest board, build your, make a Pinterest board, which Pinterest I'm hot and cold on, but make a Pinterest board of that style. And then make another Pinterest board with colors. And that just was like magic for me. It narrowed it down to where I realized that as a mom, my whole mom days, and even before that, I wore khaki, denim, blue, and white. And that was it. I didn't really wear very much color. Now, I love color, I love prints, and I'm not going to limit myself to only those colors. But knowing that started me at a place where I can look now at what's trending, what's fashionable for women of my age, and to see, I like that, I don't like that, I like that, I like that. And to be able to frame it out within the confines of what I have always liked. So there might be some really good advice for you. Think about what you've always liked and then look at the trends and see, do you still like it? Is there any way that you can kind of frame that out within the trends that are happening? Here is one thing I found that I want to recreate. It is a little denim dress. Now this is a photo of the YouTuber who bought it and was wearing it. But here is the photo of the listing at Walmart. So I have a dress pattern that I think will work great for this. I got several dress patterns out for this, but what I thought was this is basically a shirt dress. So I pulled out McCall's 7084, and I think this is going to be great. Now I may have to flare the skirt a little bit, and of course I'm going to chop it up so that I get these style lines, but I don't think that'll be a big deal. You've got princess seams at the top, then you've got the waistline seam, and then another seam and another seam as the skirt goes down. But the line drawings on this are very close to this. And I just think this is just such a great dress. It's denim. I can put gold buttons on it. I can do all the top stitching, and I will have something that I've always liked that's trending. So I want to tell you that there are a couple of people that I've started watching, and what I want to ask you is, who do you watch? Those YouTubers who give you what's trending that you can kind of take inspiration from. Let me know who your favorites are, and I'll put my favorites down in the description box. So that is the sewing. As for life, I'm going to see some friends tomorrow. We're going to go thrifting, and it's going to be a way fun time, and I'm really looking forward to that. So that's pretty much life. So I'll move into a little bit of Jesus. If that is not for you, then I want to tell you thank you. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you so much, and I hope that you'll come back. I hope that you'll subscribe, and I will see you next time. If you've stuck around for a little bit of Jesus, a couple of things. One thing is, I woke up last night out of a bad dream. It was a very bad dream. And I thought, why did I wake up? Thank God I woke up. This was a dream I didn't want to finish. But I started praying, which, you know, you have to look at that. If you're a person of faith like me, you can get all woo about stuff. And maybe I am getting a little woo about it. But I have to think, who woke me up? Why did I wake up? And what was the purpose of that? Well, first of all, let's not have that dream. And second of all, maybe you need to be praying for some people. Maybe you need to be praying for some things. So I took that as that, and I started praying. And then I needed to get my mind out of that. So I turned on my phone and got on YouTube, and I've created a couple of playlists with worship music, and I started playing one of those, and it really took it away. It took it away, and it put me in a place where I could worship and thank God for all the things he's done for me. So that's not for everybody. A lot of people would get up and go out and look at nature. A lot of people would, I don't know, read something that was very uplifting. For me, it's music. You know, we've all got our things, but it put me back in touch with Jesus, whom I love. And so I was hopeful, comforted, loved, and able to tell him all that. So my prayer card, I pulled this out specifically. On 16:33, I have told you these things so that in me you may have peace. In this world you will have trouble, but take heart. I have overcome the world. Boy, good news. With all the election stuff, with all the political things in the world that's falling apart, we can have hope because he has overcome the world. Oh, thank you, Jesus. I'm going to leave it there. I will see you next time. Thank you so much, so much for watching, and I love you all. Okay, I'll see you next time.